Hi, friends, and welcome to my backyard. This is a podcast where I enjoy sharing my insights with you. And today I want to talk about one of life's greatest superpowers. It's a skill you can develop, and I'm calling it being of sound mind and body. This is the wonderful art of being self-effacing or non-confrontational. And it unlocks so much, particularly if you find yourself in a sticky jam. Sometimes the best way out of a jam is to be soft and supple and completely assimilating and ubiquitous. Stick around and I'll go into it in a little bit more detail. One of the things I admire about really small children and dogs, my dog is back here with me, is that their entire world is what they are engaged with at that moment. When a dog is looking at you or a small child, you are everything to them. And they are nothing. There is absolutely no sense of the individual looking out through a pair of dog eyes. And there's no sense of individual looking out through a pair of baby eyes. What they see is who they are. That's why we feel so much love when pets look at us. You're just completely swallowed by their awareness. But we have this super highly intelligent brain that allows us to be aware that we are aware. And in that, an ego develops. This is the sense that I can see myself from the outside. But if you're looking and listening and being, you will feel that there is no one looking out through the eyes. There's no looker. There's no one hearing the sounds. There's just hearing. And if you sit with that for a while, you realize that your eyes can't see themselves. There is no way to perceive yourself from the so-called outside world. And that's what it means to be self-effacing. And if you're caught up in the illusion of yourself as an object, you will resist what comes into your consciousness, particularly if it's something you don't like, something that seems to challenge you, or something that you can't seem to fix. Now, in my awareness, I have realized that I don't know enough to have a problem or to say the universe is screwed up. I don't know enough to say anything about my life or my character is somehow messed up. I don't know enough to say this is late, messy, screwed up, because then you have to say, is the universe late, messy, and screwed up? Well, we don't know enough about the universe to know if it's messy, late, or screwed up, or on time, or whatever. In other words, we don't know enough to judge it. So, of being of sound mind and body means that you can see it, you can hear it, you can taste it, you can experience it with absolutely no pushback. How many times have you been like a child and put your hands over your ears and said, I'm not listening, I'm not listening. Don't say that to me. Or I don't want to see this. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear the neighbor's rap music. I don't want to see brake lights in front of me. I don't want to be called into the office and the boss tell me I'm doing a poor job. I don't want to be called into HR so that they can tell me that they're making budget cuts and have to let me go. I don't want to see pictures of my husband or my wife having an affair with another person. I don't want to hear that the government is shut down. I don't want to see my face in the mirror and see all my crow's feet. So it is a complete resistance to everything you see, hear, touch, smell, taste, experience, everything. That's what resistance is. Now, if you can master the art of being of sound, mind, and body, you can be a complete presence for anything that seems to be confronting you. You see, if you are truly self-effacing, nothing is confronting you, not even a terminal diagnosis or death. You must get over your fear of death, aging, running out of time, things being late, things being wrong. You must understand how to assimilate, because there is no confrontation. There is nothing attacking if you are self-effacing. You have to do some research on that word self-effacing, which to a lot of people is weak. But the strongest person in any room is the one that can take it in. Andrew Carnegie was purportedly like that. He can walk into a room and they would tell him all the bad news or whatever, and he could take it in, absorb it, and he might have to sleep on it for a while, whatever, but he could make these powerful decisions because he never saw it as confrontation. He was ubiquitous in assimilating. So we must pay attention to how much we try to push back. I don't want to hear this. Sometimes we don't even want to say it. I have a friend that has a very serious illness, and he won't tell his family about it. And I'm like, I think you should tell your family about it in case you ever are hospitalized and they have to make medical decisions for you and they don't know you have this condition. They don't know you're taking this medicine, whatever. And it's a life-threatening illness. But he's embarrassed about it. So that it's like, I see no evil, hear no evil, say nothing. It is suppression. That's what resistance is. It's suppressing. It is censoring. I don't particularly like your tone of voice. So don't speak to me in that tone of voice. Well, a self-effacing person would listen to the naggy voice if they had to. You just take it in. I have another friend who says, my mother nags, I can't stand her voice, and blah, 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 blah. And I try to tell her to watch her tone, watch her tone. It's that feeling that I have to control other people because I don't like your tone of voice. I don't like the vocabulary you're using. Again, it is a failure to just be present. And this is a superpower, particularly if something that seems challenging comes to you. An indictment, a lawsuit, honey, we have to talk, the doctor called, test results, whether or not you're going to get into that graduate school or not. I can remember when my best friend was in the hospital for 5 days. We were on pins and needles. He died. And I didn't want to hear the news. I knew when his sister called me what it was going to be about. It was on Christmas Eve. And I just dreaded answering the phone. But I had to hear that information. So that kind of stuff, that you don't want to hear it, you don't want to see it, you're trying to control everything out here, that's not a being of sound mind and body, that's being insane. You must realize that you are helpless in that state. You are helpless in the state of resistance. I remember one time getting a letter from the IRS saying I owed an obscene amount of money. My heart dropped. My first reaction would have been to beg all my friends for some money, or my parents, or go get one of those cash loans, mortgage the house. But the only thing I could do in that moment was comport myself. I remember sitting down. I had to sit down because it was a thick official letter from the IRS. And I had to make peace with it. Accept it. Okay, maybe there's a mistake or whatever. I had to calm down to get the right answer. That's the importance of being of sound mind and body. You won't get the right answer. And when I calmed down, an acquaintance of mine popped into my head. It was that aha moment that you're looking for. So whatever you are facing, Paul says in some passage, let your softness be known. That is the key to being self-effacing. No matter what you're called into, a deposition, a meeting, meeting with a debt collector, going to the doctor's office to talk about those horrible test results he's worried about. I don't care what it is. The practice is to let your softness be known. That is that all spiritual teaching is about being supple and open and assimilating and ubiquitous. Assimilating means all absorbed, and ubiquitous means all present. Let the words come in. Let the tone of voice come in. Do not enter any situation in a resisted state. And you will have discovered the superpower of the universe, because that's what unlocks the aha moment, and you'll know it. You'll be like, oh, that's a great idea. When I had that tax issue, someone came to mind that could help me. He was a forensic accountant, and he figured it all out, and I didn't owe all that money. He helped me. You see? Because I was assimilating ubiquitous. I read the letter. When I got sued 2 years ago, I read the whole thing. I was on an HOA board which was being sued, and I thought, oh, good God. But every time we dealt with it, I let my softness be known. I was nice with the lawyers. I was courteous with the emails. I never said too much. Most of the time, I had to do nothing. And just last week, we signed the settlement, and all is well. So, most of the time, if your softness is known first, your solution comes quicker. So, practice. It's like, how they say don't sweat the small stuff? That's where you really practice being of sound mind and body. Traffic, long lines at the supermarket, annoying colleagues. I started getting to the point where, there would be people that I would allow under my skin, but I would go to them. I would actually move towards them rather than averting, just so I could practice being of sound mind and body. I let that annoying colleague talk, just so I could practice not getting all hot and bothered. If you can practice not getting hot and bothered in the small things, when the big things come, you'll have a technique. I'm dealing with a big issue right now. So what I do is I realize that these big sticky issues will not give me the aha moment if I get stuck. So I'm out here doing yard work this morning. There's nothing I can do about the situation that I'm facing. So I'm self-effacing. I am not running from it. I am self-effacing, meaning I'm not going to take credit for it or blame. I'm not going to judge it. I'm going to be an anonymous presence, doing what I love right now, to try to change the mood inside of me, the energy inside of me for flow and creativity, because I know I am likely to have that aha moment to take an inspired action. If you are of sound mind and body, you unlock the secrets to the universe, which keep people bound up in circumstance. This is what frees you from circumstance and gives you the good ideas. I call it getting the goodies. The calm and submissive state of sound mind and body, those people seem to get the goodies in life because they're generating good feelings no matter what's coming in, and there's no resistance to hearing it, seeing it, being there. So practice not sweating the small stuff. Divert your attention to something positive. Increase your energy and keep your softness. Let your softness be known before you go into anything that seems confronting. Because let me tell you something. You aren't confronting. You are an invisible presence that can assimilate without any kind of rigidity. You can absorb it. I don't care how awful the news is. You can absorb it. And your creative mind, opportunity, whatever it is, will come to you and float to you because your water is calm. So, practice with the small things. Keep yourself of sound mind and body. And I hope that you appreciate what I had to say today. And I'll let you know how this big situation works out. I am remaining comported. And I am of sound mind and body today. I've been practicing. My name is Ryan Hebert. I hope that you enjoyed these insights. Please check out my blog. It's called mymorningmotivator.com.